listeners. It's me, your host, Ethan McKinley. If you can hear any mournful music in the background, that's because it's rather a sad episode. The reason being, of course, I hit record on episode 48, and for some reason, the machine didn't record it. This isn't episode 58, of course. It's episode 50. We're nearly at the end. Hey! This is the 2-Minute Terminator. And on the other line is Ellie Fitzgerald. We break down the Terminator films 2 minutes at a time. We are on episode 50. That means we are on the
you
1 hour.
I wanted to do a creepy, soft-spoken voice as well.
We are
Light
on
of the moons, you bum.
We are on the 1 hour 38 minute mark to the 1 hour 40 minute mark. The 2 minutes bridging that gap. Ellie had something to say.
Nothing, Ethan.
Except for
hit the music.
Howdy, stranger.
Don't say howdy, stranger to me.
Hi, I'm Chief Master Sergeant William Candy.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
And we're back.
Yay! Synchronized Pigs.
Synchronized Pigs.
Yes, welcome to the 2-Minute Terminator show, where we break down the Terminator minute 2 minutes at a time. That's purely from repetition and listening to you say it, you starring old faggot.
Well, you're better at it than me, so you should do it.
I know, I am better.
Basically, what are the bookends of the minutes, co-host?
The bookends are, we start with John Connor losing his shit because he's just realised that the T-850's just sent him to a VIP pad, like hideaway, as opposed to Skynet.
Yo, Terminator, bust out the crystal, yo!
Popcorn player! And then it ends with the radios going apeshit and a man going, "Who's in charge there?"
My Amazon order didn't come through.
Motherfucker. Yeah, so I have a few notes about this particular 2 minutes.
Before you proceed with your notes, Ellie, if you're listening, if you can hear a very faint song in the background, it's the soundtrack to Die Hard 3, Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Do you know what? I do actually need to watch those movies. I've seen
Go on.
2 of them, but I don't know which ones they are.
They're all great. Everyone shits on 2, but 2's amazing as well.
Maybe I'll watch Die Hard tonight. Maybe I'll have a Bruce Willis Eve. Do you know what, Ethan? When was the last time you sent me a fucking decent Tom Cruise movie?
I think you've seen them all.
Have I?
I think so, yeah.
Oh my god.
Pretty much. All the ones worth watching. There's probably about 5 you've not seen. But yeah, that's it really. You're done.
Oh my god. I still don't like the man, but he's a great actor. There we go, I said it. Actually, no, Stallone's the next one I need to start watching his movies.
You don't like my movies? You don't like my movies?
Actually, I'll tell you what I do need to finish off watching. Oh, God, what is it? Where he's the mountain climber, where he had the accident and dropped the chick.
You just ruined it for anyone who's not seen Cliffhanger, but it's Cliffhanger, 1993.
Cliffhanger. Yeah, but it happens in the first 5 minutes, so I've hardly ruined the film.
Yeah, but if
it's been ruined.
It's designed to suck you into the drama. You obviously switched it off after then, so it didn't work.
No, I fell asleep because I'm an old bin. Cliffhanger. I'm gonna give it my undivided attention and watch that. What's the other one that we watched that I really liked, where he's like a cop?
Meet the Cop.
I say he's like a cop, but he is a cop. It's old Stallone, and he's got like the silver aviators.
Is it? Is that Cobra? Or are you thinking of
Cobra?
Yeah, that's crap.
Oh, wait, was it Cobra?
Yeah.
No, there was a good film we watched where it's like good cop, bad cop, and it's young Stallone.
Are you thinking of Nighthawks with Rutger Hauer?
Nighthawks, that's it. That was cool.
Nighthawks is great.
Yeah.
When we get to 1995's Cobra, he kind of lost it. Not he didn't, but he kind of got movie starry. So he started wearing like fur coats, and then he kind of merged up through the Tango and Cash phase, where he kind of started wearing like plain glass glasses, so he looked like an intelligent person.
In other words, he looked like Flavor Flav.
Well, he didn't go that extreme, but he just tried to look very kind of like. It was a time of like yuppies and Wall Street, wasn't it? So he kind of had that like banker look.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is when he has like the feathered mullet and stuff and the beard, and it's 1981 and he's in Nighthawks. Keith Emerson, who did the soundtrack to that, actually died this month, didn't he? Keith Emerson.
Fuck. fuck?
From Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Never heard their music, and I only really like the theme tune to Nighthawk, so sorry, Keith, your life's work has been a failure.
Emerson, Lake and Palmer, they were quite out there. Some of their stuff was cool.
A bit Rick Wakeman-y.
Their early stuff, but then their slightly later stuff, I think it's a bit like the Beatles. They'd taken too much acid and it got really fucking out there. Because my dad had quite a few of their albums, and the earlier stuff, what I used to listen to as a kid, was cool. But yeah, it gets a bit out there. The Armadillo album, that's fucking weird, man. That's like the craziest acid trip you can possibly imagine.
It's not really music, is it, Ellie?
No.
Rick Wakeman?
Oh, Rick Wakeman's fucking awesome. I do like a bit of Rick. He did an incredible score for, it's called Knights of the Round Table. It's really kind of weird and wacky, but it's fucking awesome. I reckon you'd quite like that, actually. Some of it you'd like, some of it I don't think you would.
The movie or the soundtrack?
It's not to a movie. It's literally just a piece. It's like a whole piece of music. It's meant to be around the whole story of King Arthur. And the beginning, you hear some dude kind of like narrating, and there's a bell, and you hear like a few seagulls, and then it goes into this piece. But it's like, I think it's about 14 tracks long, but it's not to a film or anything.
Oh, well, that sounds amazing. I can't wait to kind of get stuck into that and see it.
You're such a liar.
You have questions?
Anyway. Huh?
You have questions about the clip we're going to talk about in the 2-Minute Terminator, episode 50, 1 hour 38 minutes to 1 hour 40 minutes.
So, as we enter this 2 minutes, he gets hold of a computer and like throws it to the floor because he realizes that actually he's been sent to the wrong place. That computer is no way near 30 years old.
Might be. Government technology is more advanced.
It's not, because you've got all the stuff in the background which is like really old school like computers, kind of like the one, do you remember in The Simpsons where there's the scientist and he's got like the old school computer and he's saying how everyone's going to have one in their house? It's kind of like that kind of old school. But then you see this other computer, which is like the first computer I ever had. What are you playing?
I'm looking at the clip now. I'm watching it as you speak. There's a computer in the background. It looks very much kind of like an 80s, 70s computer.
Yeah, but that's not 30 years old if we're sticking to this timeline.
Well, no, I don't think this base would have been laying dormant for 30 years because all the computers are still on. I mean, the biggest plot hole really is there should be like a skeleton crew of someone manning this place, surely, at the very least, right? Because
that was something else that I was going to say.
If there was an issue, like a global issue, which is what's happened in this film, you'd think there'd be a kind of bunch of people kind of there to take the call when they go, the bombs are coming, this is the president, open the doors, we'll be there in an hour.
Well, this is my thought, and also, like, you'd either go in there and it would be like it hadn't been entered in fucking years, so like something out of Indiana Jones.
Or your mom.
So dried up like an old Cornish tin mine. Love that. Oh my god, it was so funny. Last night when Nardi was messaging me, he said something and it was so fucking childish. I just sent him back a picture of a desert and he was like, I don't get it. And I was like, oh. Fucking dropped the ball on that one. Anyway, so I would have thought that it would either be covered in dust where you can see that no one's been in there for fucking years, or, like you said, there would be evidence of some kind of disturbance, people actually being there.
Big
but
footprints.
We don't actually see either.
There'd be something.
Huh?
There'd be something. Big footprints, maybe.
Oh, wouldn't that be amazing?
Yeah, no, it's... I mean, for anyone listening, if you can't follow on with the clip, this is actually kind of like the last physical clip. There's about a minute. It's more of like the bombs coming down and stuff. But this is kind of it for the movie.
Do we think that this is? Do we think that this is like their sex pad? Because there's part of this 2 minutes. She goes, John, we could just, and then I filled it in with my pretend you're a man and repopulate the earth. Do you you reckon this is going to be their like fuck pad where they're going to?
Well, I'm assuming the people on the other end of this radio, I don't know how this would work in real life, because if there's a nuclear war, like nothing would survive anyway, because there'd be like nuclear winter. All the stuff that would have exploded from the Earth would be thrown up into the atmosphere, and for like at least a few decades, you'd have like darkness, bad weather. There'd be not enough sun, basically. You'd get this like nuclear winter over much of, I guess, the northern hemisphere. I'm not sure if that would end the world properly, but
something else I'm confused about. So if the T-850 sent them here on purpose because his mission was to keep them alive, which again I find quite interesting that Kate has to point this out to John, because John's like, why would he send us here? You know, he's being a bit of a woman, he's being blinded by emotion, he's not thinking rationally. Kate, however, who does have a womb, obviously conjectures that that he did it because that was his mission, to make sure that they stay alive.
Which he did.
Which he did. So was that the T-850's plan all along?
Well, I guess it would have to be. No, because
because I would have thought if that had been his plan all along, there would be like provisions and stuff here. Like, I can't see any food or drink.
Well, don't they get? They don't need.
Be in here a while.
I know, but maybe he was driving to this place the whole time, and he would have stayed with them as the war happened. That was my assumption. But she obviously got sidetracked and said, "I insist on going to see my father. Or we need to save him."
Okay.
Or at least, you know, the other part of that plan was to explain to him what was going to happen and hopefully talk him out of switching Skynet on. Because they made that diversion, the TX obviously came there, killed everyone in the base pretty much, activated the Terminators, the T1s basically, and that's what led them here. So I guess he had to kind of like play jazz a little bit and finish the mission this way by having them sent ahead. Because he broke his programming, didn't he? Then he turns up later, kills the TX by crushing her under a door, and here we are now. The only thing is now,
if you think about it,
who they're talking to on the radio, is that a potential group of living humans that's going to come to where they are, or will they reconvene?
So that's kind of like what I gathered. It just sounds like different military, because he said he's where did he say he was calling from?
I personally would check all the cupboards to make sure there's enough food before you start inviting people over to your house willy-nilly.
Willy-nilly. That's okay, she can have fish.
Well, if he invites like 12 battalions of US soldiers and full bird generals.
Well, I would have thought that there would just be more provisions around anyway.
Well, I'd imagine if this was a real life situation, there'd be like decades and decades worth of food.
And who's paying this electricity bill if all these fucking computers are still just up and running?
I imagine. Alright, I'd imagine it's running off a generator. I'd imagine that generator is run by some kind of fossil fuel. I would argue that maybe they'd probably have solar or some kind of like advanced whatever keeping it running. But I don't know. I imagine it's just like diesel generators in those places. And you have to have enough kind of like fuel to kind of keep them running.
Maybe they went to a Michael Tellinger lecture and discovered how to make energy out of nothing.
Tellinger will tell ya. That's who opens all his lectures, by the way.
I know. That's a lie.
He comes on. The applause like died down, and he goes,
"Oh my god, you should reach out to Michael for your questionable podcast. That would be fucking amazing."
The crowd dies down, and then he just sits there, and he goes, "I'll tell her, and I'll tell him. Michael Tellinger will tell ya." And everyone claps, and then he just goes, I actually didn't prepare for this. I'm sorry. I don't know what to say.
As the crowd goes wild. Yeah, you should reach out to Michael.
Who's he?
Michael Tellinger?
Yes.
You must know who he is. No?
Nope.
Oh my god. Okay, so Michael Tellinger, he's a bit like...
Michael Tellinger is a South African songwriter and politician. Tellinger released his first South African record in 1981, Hazel, nominated for the SARI Award as being the best male vocalist. He has books out called Slave Species of the Gods, Adam's Calendar Discoveries, and What to Do If Your Linux System Breaks Down.
He's kind of in the Graham Hancock kind of world, but he kind of sees it less from a magical side and more of a scientific approach.
Right.
He did this really interesting talk in this lecture. I'll send it to you. It's on YouTube.
Ancient technology in the Ubuntu.
Yeah. What he's talking about is how there are ways to create energy, and it's about this kind of like coming away from needing to rely on the government and other people, and it's kind of more leaning towards being self-sufficient and like living off the land. He's all about kind of more holistic kind of side of medicine, whereas he doesn't go down the crystal route. So it's all I'm really shocked. I swear to God, when I first started talking to you back many moons ago, one time I was talking to you about Michael Tellinger.
Okay, yeah, but when I'm courting a lady or speaking to a new girl, I'll pretty much talk to you and agree with anything you're saying. But like, oh yeah, you grow your own asparagus. That's amazing. You'd be surprised what men do just to get a piece of the action. You know what I'm saying? So I probably did. I've heard.
Bet you have. I bet you'd never even watched Labyrinth when I first started talking to you.
I've heard of him. I think I'm sure I've listened to him on Coast to Coast back in the day. But no, I'll reach out to him. I'll do a bit of research, and I'll have him on.
I think you'd find him fascinating. But I reckon that'd be a really good one. And I reckon if he goes to your page and sees that you've already spoken to like Graham Hancock, then I reckon that'll probably hold you in really good stead.
Oh, spoke to Hancock, has he? Think you'd get all jealous?
Ooh.
I talked to Graham Hancock yesterday. What? Who is he? Am I not enough? Are my lectures not enough for you? Huh? You're like, no, Michael. Hey, remember this one? I went, oh, nice statistic. I was faking it.
Yeah, I was faking it. Not you.
No.
But no, you should reach out to him. He's cool.
And I sold the crystal pyramid you gave me on eBay. Anyway.
Oh, no. Stop it. Stop.
There's actually a noise in
Stop
this.
It.
What?
Stop.
What?
Behave. No more of these noises.
What do you mean?
Nothing. So if you were John right now, would you just be like, okay, babe, let's just do this? Would you put the move in now?
No, there'd be no need to.
Oh, okay.
I want to get some food, relax. She'd have some kind of breakdown about losing her father. At that point, that's when you kind of make the move.
That's when you're going to get her to do the freakiest shit.
She'd be like, I can't believe it's home. And you'd be just like, you'd just Joe Pesci the back of her head down into your crotch, like Casino or Goodfellas style. As she's kind of like blubbering and she throws her head back with her mouth open going, ah! And she's doing that kind of like dry heave crying. You just literally get the back of the head.
You do the Alan Partridge and you go, stay down.
And you just get ahead and you just move it to a battle mode.
I love that bit in True Lies when the used car salesman pushes her head down into his lap to stay like incognito. Amazing.
Yeah.
What is it he says? Because Arnold's spying on them.
If they took care of business, I'd be
her
out
head's
of
in
business.
a lap. He goes, and he's looking, and the lens just breaks. Maybe that was it. Maybe she's sleepy. Why is she laying in his lap? Maybe she's sleepy. Oh, it's relevant because it's Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah, how come all of a sudden the radios just kick in? It's not just one. Like it's all happening.
I'm assuming it's some kind of automated emergency. The power goes on. It must be activated maybe remotely.
I haven't got a clue, mate.
They hear the missiles have gone up. The birds are flying, sir. And then they just switch this base on. And then I guess try and get people to it, I guess.
Maybe.
That's what I think. I don't know. It's the only explanation. I mean, I'm sure what some of our military-obsessed American listeners can tell us this.
Why does John jump to the conclusion that this is a VIP pad?
Vips. Because it's nicely done. There's kind of... well, I mean, it looks like it was either made in the early 70s or the late 60s, because when they go in...
It looks... I'm sorry, but it just looks Nazi-like to me.
No. I mean, when they first walk in the previous clip, you see this kind of like light fixture, which looks very kind of like... It looks like some kind of lobby from a business building in Omen 2.
Yeah.
You expect William Holden to come out with his big leathery face going, "That's not the devil, I don't believe you." Like that.
Antico?
He's not the devil. I don't believe you. Now get away from my family, you crazy old bitch.
I'm not even Bugsy Malone.
Yeah, William Holden, he's one of those kind of like, a bit like Rex Harrison.
Oh, Rex! I won't hear a bad word said again.
He's like that era of actor when they just looked like, well, they drank loads of scotch and smoked and hung out with a Rat Pack, and they just had that like hangdog leathery face.
Rex Harrison didn't drink or smoke.
Well, he had the look of that period. He had that like hangdog expression, that like all the structure behind my face has just run away. So there's literally like a shopping bag with eyes and some like Brill creamed hair down the back.
So in other words, you're a long-haired poor man's Rex Harrison.
Like, well, you know what? The same generation but younger. You like James Garner type people as well. But like William Holden, Rex Harrison, you know, those kind of guys. Yeah, that's two Ethan. I can't think of any else right now, but I know what I'm talking about.
Oh dear.
We're almost at the end, by the way.
I know, it's fucking terrifying.
Full disclosure, I know you heard it, listeners, in the last episode of The Title, which was 48 didn't record. It did actually record. When I took it out of the thing and put it onto the computer, it just wasn't there on the chip. 49 recorded fine.
Ghost in the machine.
We were going to do 48 now, but I think if we leave it a couple of days so it's nice and fresh, we do it as a bonus episode.
Bonus
episode. Oh, yes, just like that.
Oh, yes, oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
What was I going to say? Can I just say something else about this particular 2 minutes?
Let's have it.
Yes. John really doesn't seem that bothered that he looks down at the timer and there's like 1 minute 16 seconds left, and then he just carries on having.
And then he
this
pauses
kind of
for a second. He goes,
"Oh,
I left the cat out."
oh my god, I left the hob on. And the dog's gonna have pissed off at blood. Yeah, he just doesn't really seem that bothered by the fact that they've literally got 60 seconds before the detonator goes off.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, you know what?
I'd be like, okay,
do you
so
know
this
what?
isn't the pad, let's get the fuck out of it.
I think the other people talking to him is just another base.
I think it's quite a few different bases.
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
all,
I know,
all
absolutely.
military, obviously, and they're
Yeah,
all
there
connecting with each other.
That's why there are different voices, yeah. But it literally is, I think, different military bases that are kind of like holed up underground already.
Trying to work out what the bloody hell's going on.
Yeah.
And it's the first time that the military are, I guess, aware of John Connor.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I don't.
They're asking the question. The last thing he says is, "Who's in charge there?" I reckon that it's from this moment onward that John kind of assumes this kind of military leader. So he'll be like, "I'm John Connor. I'm in charge now." Blah 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 blah. Whilst Kate's just noshing him off.
Thing is, he's not really any military type person. So if another base
he's weak as F.
did actually come over and go, "Who is this? Why are you in here? Why is this base unstaffed?"
Kate's more badass than John is. She's just watched her dad die. She's found out in the last 24 hours that robots are real and that they're going to destroy this planet. She's managed to hold it together a hell of a lot better than John has.
She has. Well, the Terminator does kill John in the future, so maybe she's the true leader.
I think she is.
I mean, this whole timeline's so freaking squiffy. Who bloody knows? I don't know. Yeah. No, I think if another group did actually come to this base, John wouldn't be the leader. They'd just be like, out of the way, Pee-wee.
The buttery biscuit.
Where are the
face.
women?
Where is woman?
Where is
and
the
they look
woman?
at Kate and go,
Oh, and she's ginger.
She's probably got puffy nipples though.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't. It doesn't.
You know what?
matter.
I don't think it's just the puffy nipples anymore. So Ellie, I think it's just the Tracy Lords fixation. Just Google Tracy Lords nude on Google, listeners. It's the banana tits. It's those weird banana boobs,
no.
man.
See, they're the ones I don't like.
I know they're horrific, but they're so hot as well. I don't know what's wrong with me.
I think it's the older you get, the younger you like them to be.
Well, no, because she didn't really have the breasts of a younger woman, did she? In a sense, they were just like that kind of like sloppy on the way out boobs. They're okay as well.
The only thing that attracts me to Tracy Lords is the fact that she was 15 and she wanted to get into porn that fucking much. That is hot. But facially, body, the hair.
Tracy Lords was hot. I'm sorry, she was. She's not now. She looks like a totally different person.
I just don't think she was hot when she was young. She had a round face.
Amazing.
A body. What?
She's hot, man.
Round everyone's faces are hot.
No, but she just the whole package on Tracy Lords just worked. Sorry, listeners, this isn't Terminator, but it's Tracy Lords.
No, what works for you, Ethan, is knowing what she did, how fucking wrong / sexually driven she was.
I'm glad we're putting this on record, so if I ever become famous, this will be used as incriminating. No, I just think she's got a great set of cans. That's basically it.
God. If only Facebook would allow us to put up Tracy Lord's cans.
They don't need to. Anyone of a certain age will have seen her in action anyway. And if you don't, just Google Tracy Lord's nude.
She's a dirty bitch. I think that's the only thing that's fit about her.
She's a dirty bitch, and she's got weird banana tits. I don't know why I like them, but I do.
Horrible.
I know, but I like them.
You're so weird, Ethan. Wait, Tracy.
You know what? They're a bit like Marvin the Martian's gun in the Warner Brothers cartoons. But this giant gun.
Her tits to cartoon.
A giant gun would shoot out of the top of his spaceship, and then like an even tinier gun would come out of that, and then out of that, and then out of that. It's just like this like giant thing on the end of a thing on the end of a thing, and it just kind of like.
God, no.
I'm sorry, Ellie.
No.
In Tracy we trust.
Oh no. They're horrid, man.
They are horrid, but they're hot as well. I don't know. In some they're good, and some they're bad.
Dude, that's like a fucking toasted tea cake.
I know. That's what's so great about it. The kind of bell, the hotel desk bell ones. Oh my god. Take me to heaven.
She's got a fucking gut.
I know. I can't.
Oh god, Ethan,
Ellie,
I just don't know who you are anymore.
I can't defend this. I'm sorry. Come on.
No, you literally cannot. She's a dog. Oh god.
Okay, so she's a dog.
And she's got the hairiest asshole. But then again, we know you're into that.
Weird tits. I'm not into that. That's awful. I showed my own once a few months ago, didn't I? I regretted that. Oh my god. I know guys do that and stuff, and you can go to like get yourself waxed, but why anyone would do that, I literally have no idea. It's like the most excruciating thing ever. It's within hours of you doing that, the hairs start to poke through again, and it's like walking on sandpaper. I literally had a rash in my ass crack. Oh my god, I've not felt that much pain since I worked at TGI Fridays, and someone emptied they ripped the top off one of those long sweet and low sugar sachets, and they poured it down the crack of my ass.
Ooh.
Now instead of just going to the bathroom and just like taking my trousers down and like wet wiping myself or cleaning my ass in the sink, I just went, oh, that's nothing. It doesn't matter, dude.
It did matter.
It did matter. It was like having broken glass particles in your ass, and like the chafing of your butt cheek, my butt cheeks especially, rubbing together. Oh my god, just the worst pain ever. And I literally had like a blood rash, like where my legs had moved and my ass had moved. It was awful. Yeah, very tender. So we can all agree Tracy Lords was awesome.
Yes, we can all agree.
Before we wrap up this episode, there's a bit in this, actually in the previous episode, when they open, there's a squeaky door noise as they come down into this control room area. That is the most commonly heard squeaky door noise. I don't know why they have that. You hear it in so many films. It's as recognizable, Ellie, as the Wilhelm Scream. Do you know what the Wilhelm Scream is?
No.
Okay, well, bear with me.
I probably will do when I hear it, but I'm not aware that it's called the Wilhelm.
Well, any film fan will know what the Wilhelm Scream is, basically. Here it is. It's basically the most commonly heard scream in action films.
Stop looking at these fucking toasted tea cakes, man. Right, goodbye. Carry on.
Right, here we go. Can you hear the scream?
No.
This is a scene from them.
That sounds like Forbidden Planet.
Well, it's the same era. It's the late 50s. It's like an atomic scare movie when they kind of took...
Is it good?
They went away from gothic horror and they went for like the giant tarantula or giant ants. Them has giant ants in it. Also, as a point of trivia, James Whitmore, who played Brooks in The Shawshank Redemption, the guy that hung himself, is in them as a much younger man.
Oh,
but
wow.
listen for the screams. Here we go. There you go.
Oh, okay.
Here we go.
can't finish it, Mr. Bishop.
So you get the idea.
Well, they say you learn something new every day.
Yeah, well, that was the Wilhelm Scream from Star Wars, and they used it again in the Star Wars Holiday Special, the straight-to-TV thing that George Lucas wants to forget, basically. But it's kind of an in-joke between like Foley artists and sound designers that they put the Wilhelm Scream in. It's been all the Star Wars films, all the Indiana Jones films, I think all George Lucas projects, basically, including Willow. And since then, they've obviously taken it and put it in other films. It's been in a bunch of Marvel movies, but it's interesting.
Willow, use the wand on that troll. Willow, use the wand on those banana breasts.
God, I've turned into Peter Sellers. I'm Blue Bottle. Ellie,
Anyway.
do you have anything more to add?
No.
Well, that's just excellent, isn't it? If you have listened this far, listeners, thank you so much for
John,
listening.
can you find a picture of Tracy Lords and just put some fucking bananas on her tits, please, and send it to us?
John, there's no need to do that. It proves nothing, and it will not change my love for her.
No, but it's for me.
I know, but
I'll get you T-shirts made for your birthday.
John, don't listen to her. She's just using you for artwork.
She's using. Use me.
I was just phoning you to get the
I
artwork.
have to say on this 2 minutes.
Excellent. Well, thank you all for listening. Please go to the Facebook page and like it. If you're already a liker of the Facebook page, why don't you take 10 minutes out of your day and invite all your friends to like it? We need all the help we can get. We've only got 100
We are
likes.
definitely generating heat now.
We're not really.
Yeah, we are.
I think if we're consistent with all the uploads of photos and clips and things and the show, yes. But it's tailed off again because obviously someone has decided she's not that available to do the show.
Hey, it's been bank holiday fucking weekend.
Oh, well, that changes everything.
And it's
thank
not
you.
my fault that the other episode didn't record, so
That is true.
screw you.
But it will be a lovely bonus episode of the next few days. Thank you for listening, everyone. We shall return tomorrow with episode 51 and then episode 48 and then 10 minutes of credits. Whether we condense that into one giant movie trivia
I think
episode.
we should.
Why?
Well, because what the hell? We can't pick apart 10 minutes of credits. We could do funny names. Ben Carr.
King Road.
King Road.
All right, Alan Partridge, shut up. Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow with episode 51, basically. So thank you all for listening. Tune in tomorrow. And invite all your friends to the Facebook page, please, baby.
Watch out for machines. They're unstoppable. Watch out for machines.